Well, hello. I am going to be watching Diana, the musical. And the reason I'm going to be watching it is because, one, it looks like a fucking train wreck from hell. Like, who decides? Okay, too soon. Too soon. And first of all, Diana doesn't need a musical. Diana needs an opera. I'm not even going to use this headphone. I don't know what this is doing. Diana needs an opera, not a musical. Damn it. So, I was in a show recently, and a friend in the show, hi Ken! I didn't mean to do that like Barbie, like the Barbie song, but from now on that's how I'm saying hi to you, Ken. Anyway, he said that the show was, I don't know, I couldn't tell if the way that he described it to me was he was recommending it in a positive way or warning me about it, but either way, we're about to get into Diana the musical on a roach. Yeah, because with my arm in a sling, it makes using a bong problematic. I also can't actually make my own joints right now. One hand, you know. So, I have to do this because I did try to make the bong work, and I lost a significant portion of my eyebrow. So, we're gonna be, oh god, almost completely straight watching this. Let's get into it. It's PG-13 too, so. Alright, hitting play now. Dong dong! I might be unprepared.
A lonely girl I swore, lost in blinding light.
Wow, this is on the nose.
I can tell he's taken quite a liking to you.
Has he really?
When you come back in,
You know
I'll
what?
make sure you
On the day of Charles's coronation.
Oh, Mrs. Parker Bowles, but call me Camilla.
Oh!
Charles and I are old chums.
Boo! On the day of the coronation, I will be watching a rerun of Princess Diana's funeral. Gosh, I wonder if she has another costume on under that one.
Playboy Prince needs a lady.
Oh my god, it's Queen Elizabeth singing! First of all, that choreography, they came through the doors and they immediately turned their backs on the Queen.
What's a monarch to do?
Oh, that's Prince Charles?
There must be someone
He gets flattered a lot by the people that they cast to play him. Like Dominic West and then this guy.
For the heir to the British crown, you were bred to settle down. A future
This
queen
sounds like
should
Tommy!
have finds a child
This sounds like the Who's Tommy! Oh my god! I don't know if I'm gonna make it!
A royal wedding.
No, not with the shoulders! They...
A fairy tale born in hell. She's the best girl.
Uh-oh.
The best girl.
Yeah, I'd say he definitely likes you.
Bloody hell.
People laughed at that in the theater. I know they did. And that makes me furious.
Tonight,
Charles and Camilla suck.
He really does have many appealing qualities. Such as he's in line to be the King of England.
Like, that's it. That's what he's got going for him.
Not to mention, she's remarkably pretty.
And you know I've never cared about that. No, darling, I didn't
Someday
mean...
I'll forgive you for that remark.
I hope people fucking cheered at that line, though. I hope people fucking lost their shit and just
You know what she suggested we do?
screamed with applause.
Go and...
You seem surprised. Don't girls usually give you gifts?
No, never.
Never. Because
Links.
literally
Lovely.
every
I'm sure you have
penny,
dozens.
Actually, hundreds.
like,
Nice
of their
savings.
fucking taxes.
That's Mr. Schnob Rostropovich.
No, they don't give me
He
gifts,
is,
they
in
give
my
me
layman's
fucking
opinion, the greatest
taxes!
cellist in the world today.
Like an endless telethon, how I wish that he were Elton John.
No! No! I can never go back from seeing this.
You're auditioning to be his queen.
Like, what,
If
is it
Queen were
a
playing
parody?
Now, Freddie Mercury would slay it.
Did she say slay?
The music
I feel
is
like I'm
transporting.
floating up. Me fucking too. I feel like I am outside of my body right now. This is like Tommy. I mean, like, there's nothing else I can do but, like, in, like, levels of cringe, and, like, this subject matter is not translating to the stage the way you think it is. Literally, so many of these elements would be perfect
This girl can turn him
in
into a
any
rocker.
other musical or about anything else. Nope.
As you, she looks the part. To have such
Nope.
charm is quite an art.
Boo.
And all you have.
Now,
God, I hope her family didn't see this. Please do. Finally, the Dick Tracy musical makes it to Broadway. That would just be it. That would kill me. Like, that would be when I would die. Would be if the Dick Tracy musical ever, by some miracle, ended up coming to Broadway, and some shit like this happened. Oh, I swear I am, like, dissociating right now. This is unreal, you guys. What?
he got down on one knee. Yes, he did it properly, and well, that was...
That made me think of something. You got down on one knee. If you know what song I'm thinking of, it starts... he got down on one knee. Yeah, that. Okay, 6.
Love
Pretend I
rarely
didn't just
is
sing
direct.
there, but
Love
6.
changes every day.
Love changes everything.
Whatever love means anyway.
Oh, not that vocal scoop.
Diana, it's time we have a serious discussion.
Anyway.
Lovely.
I've grown quite fond of you.
I've grown accustomed to your face.
What?
I just realized my fan is still on, and you absolutely are hearing it right now. No!
Darling Diana! Barbara Cartland, oh, just look at you.
Oh my God! What is?
Your stories are the only ones I
What's
read.
happening
Oh,
to me
how
right
true.
now?
True.
I'm. Wait a second. Is the woman that plays the Queen also playing Barbara Cartland? I googled it. It says, "Why did Diana the musical close?" Exhibit fucking A. Case closed. No further questions, Your Honor.
Someday you'll be crowned queen, the loveliest queen we've ever seen.
Nope.
Though it...
That was the most artless rhyme. Like, I have so many mean things I want to say about this. I'm trying to organize them.
Say the word and I'll stop it now.
But the girl is quite the wow. I'm sure that she will satisfy.
You can't get away with rhymes like that. There's one person that can get away with, like, that girl is a wow, you know? That's Tim Rice. And please tell me he did not... No, he's not the lyricist, right? Oh my God, I'm just trying to find the cast. Remember when Internet Movie Database was, like, simple? Remember when IMDb didn't have pronouns?
So love evolves and bends.
Okay, excuse me.
And men take other friends.
But I want to watch the
It doesn't
Diana
mean
musical, not the
devotion
These Two Jackasses musical.
But you were right about
gonna
that
say it.
Camilla woman. Well, it's too late now.
Your face is on the-
is already on all the mugs and the tea towels.
Oh.
It's your national holiday.
No, your face is already on the
That
tea
dress
towels,
doesn't lack
Ducky.
volume.
That's
God,
not
I look
right.
enormous.
Oh God, there cannot be a song about her eating disorder. Oh my God, I will burn down a Dunkin' Donuts. Oh my God, I will challenge the writers to a duel with bow and arrow. Oh my God.
I will try my very best as I stumble in this dress. I will.
I feel like this song.
Represent
Okay, if Elton John had been involved in this, it would have been better. But let's pretend that Elton John wrote a Diana musical. This song would still be in it. This would still be in an Elton John version.
I will run to the
I can't tell if I'm impressed with that or if it was tacky. I like that it happened. Like, I liked the mechanics of it. I liked it as an illusion and as a trick.
And we will
Whew.
make this marriage work. And we
I don't
know
care.
it's surely
Why am I seeing Camilla's? This is the Diana musical. Okay, this is the Diana. I get that the actress needs to change her clothes and take a piss. I get it, but
Came out here to bitch and gripe. Guarantee she ain't my type.
they're really gonna be like, here's a musical number about how fucking mean the Welsh are.
hardly know what I'm doing. I'm just glad to be with you, sharing handshakes, hearing stories.
Oh my God.
A lovely thing to do.
It won't be easy. You'll think it's strange. This is like Rainbow High. This is her Rainbow High. It's like Evita and Tommy went through that machine from The Fly, like by accident. And this is like the Brundle musical. Ken, if you've made it this far, you did not adequately prepare me for this, but that's like not even your fault. Because how could you?
We fell in love.
Darling.
Like, if this, composer and lyricist made another musical, I would definitely check it out. But this is a war crime.
William, my dear little cries. It stops me to look in your eyes.
Same along with the thing that if Elton John did a Diana musical, this song would probably be in it, regardless.
Darling, I'm holding our son.
Thanks for
Let me say,
clarifying
job
that
well
for the
done.
people in the cheap seats.
Stop
If you got that bottle in the baby's neck,
expected.
like, why don't you put that by the baby doll's mouth? How about that? Yeah, please, before the baby fucking starves to death. Is this a new song, or the same song, or is this a reprise of something we've already heard? Because all these songs, for the most part, these songs sound really similar. But is this all one song? Is this a Bonnie Tyler video?
I think it's time.
The camera angles that the audience wouldn't get. What's the point of showing us all of these like repeated camera angles that really aren't, the audience doesn't see. So, there's a reason, though, that you don't see it. Like, it's not part of the musical, right? Because you wouldn't see those angles on stage. So it's not a part of the musical. So why add it? Is there an intermission on this bitch?
One's access, one's comfort.
I know that this is a musical, but there are way too many songs in this.
We sit here in the dark, none of us are wise. In about a minute, we're in for a surprise.
I love when they tell us things in song, like just directly to the audience, so that the audience doesn't, you know, accidentally not understand that what we're seeing in front of us is happening.
You're in line to be queen.
calm down.
Gala affair, and look who's there, Diana.
This is such a Disney villain song.
Protocol, the damage you've done by ignoring it all. Don't blame me for your.
This guy has definitely played Pontius Pilate in Jesus Christ Superstar before. This guy has. I bet if you look him up right now, he's played Pontius Pilate. You know what? We're gonna check it out. Because it's better than what's happening in front of my fucking face right now and in my ears. This guy's on Emily in Paris. I'm looking for... this is your Broadway debut? You know what? I don't give a shit. You've been out on like a non-union tour or something.
Don't you ever tire of this mess?
Yes.
Yes.
Seemed like destiny. Why can't
Is this
you
still on?
lead? Serves me right for marrying a Scorpio. Well, fantasies die.
What?
Who knew?
Why is this happening to me? I'm a good person.
Miss you most on Sundays when time stands still and we are one. And is
Okay, I've read a lot about Diana and Charles and just the absolute nightmare show of the royal family in the 80s and 90s. But isn't that something? Didn't she say she missed him the most on Sundays, or like Sunday night was the worst night or something? Wasn't that something Camilla really said in like those phone calls? I can't remember. Marijuana affects the memory.
No more missing you on Sundays.
I don't care about any of this. I don't give a shit. Unless this song ends with, you know, and then Charles and Camilla accidentally fell in a wood chipper and everyone lived happily ever after. Like that level of Inglorious Bastards, like historical revision. Unless that's what happens, I don't care.
Too many bows. Too many ruffles. Too many frilly, frumpy fruffles.
I feel like okay, that
Rather
was a choice.
skittish.
They're gonna do another one of these like mid-song clothing changes. They just did. Yep. You can do that like once a musical. It can't just keep happening. You know, like it's not impressive if it keeps happening.
On older buildings, while we may prize the new, we must cherish the established. It would be a tragedy.
I bet that scratching his nose was part of the audition, you know. Are we sure we didn't want her to change into this one on stage as well?
stories girls are taught to believe are not the stories that
This would be perfect for like a Princess Diaries musical. Yeah, okay, there's gonna be another dress underneath that one. Yeah.
In a dress.
It stops being like, how many times have they done that now? 5, 6 times? It feels like 5 or 6 times. Was there an intermission? Oh, that must have been the intermission. That must have been the curtain from intermission. Oh, here comes Queen. She's old now because it's been intermission.
No, it's me again, Barbara Cartland.
Oh, sorry.
Now.
This is not what's happening. This can't is and now for no reason a character is breaking the fourth wall to directly address us comedically. No. Nope. Nope.
James Hewitt.
Shut it down.
Ladies.
Shut it down. This is not happening. Does this musical know what it wants to be? Does it want to be a comedy? In which case it is intensely inappropriate. Or does this want to be a serious musical biography? In which case, it's unintentionally inappropriate.
Oh, all right. I just made up those bits of dialogue, but aren't they delicious?
What is happening?
They are. James Hewitt. James Hewitt. Did do it.
No.
James, you're beginning to sound like a Barbara Cartland novel.
No,
The novel's
this
due
is
end
not
properly,
okay.
right?
Do you truly want me?
This
Do
is...
you truly?
Now there's him and her and him.
No, why is this happening? I'm a good person. No, please leave the stage, ma'am. None of this would really be different, in terms of, like, what we've already seen on stage. That number wouldn't have been incongruous with all the other things without the addition of Barbara Cartland for some reason as a sudden post-intermission narrator. That would have still all worked in keeping with the rest of the show. They didn't need to use her. Who?
Just dance.
My mother left me. I never
Did she never mention it?
Just dance.
We are a family.
Is this a reprise of that Just Breathe thing?
Just dance.
I can't tell. Like, is this the same song? Is this a reprise? Why does he leave the stage and then return through the floor? Like, it's just to show us that, like, look how clever we're utilizing an elevator. So it's a different song. They've got, like, one that's Just Breathe and one is Just Dance. Just live, just laugh, just love, I guess. Ugh. This is terrible.
I bet those are the same people who call Mother Teresa an opportunist. So.
All I'm saying is,
I mean,
if you insist on playing martyr,
yeah, kind
for the
of.
sake of
You know I'll be back. You've opened my eyes. The damage that's done through secrets and lies.
It's time.
Honey, don't make their AIDS all about your fucking marriage. Yikes. Yikes. Like, legitimately, the end of that song was her, like, making their AIDS about her marriage.
Another night with Charles's friends. I pray to God that it soon ends.
Yeah.
Nights like this.
Okay, so I'm editing. I hope I don't have flax seeds in my teeth because I was eating oatmeal too. I was editing and I found that my GoPro did not record about a half an hour of footage from the end of this musical. And honestly, I'm not even mad at my GoPro about it because I didn't want to watch the last half hour of this musical either. However, I don't want to leave this react or review unfinished, so I just want to hit on a few of the things that made it even more horrific. If you're wondering if the Barbara Cartland narrator device continues, it does not. It never happens again. It was just for that one number. They do the dress thing several more times. This musical just should have been called Dress Changes because there were all of these changes on stage, and they were like, so like at one point she's wearing this bathrobe and it's like cinched up tighter than my sling, like it's up to here, and then like it's really long, and she's really struggling, like she really knows she has to keep it closed. And I'm like, okay, the revenge dress is under there, right? And so they're talking about this, oh my gosh, this song, they're like singing about a feck you dress, a feckety, 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 feck you dress. Just say the word. Like, this was not written by British people. This was written by Americans trying to sound British, I think. So she, you know, we know where she's talking about the revenge dress. So we know that that robe is going to come off, and there she is in the revenge dress. And oh my gosh, that's what happens. And it's amazing. She changed her clothes on stage. Like, you cannot keep doing it. It's not impressive. It's like, but honestly, the dress changes on stage were actually one of the only things this show has going for it. It was terrible. Now, the woman that played Diana is a fucking powerhouse, okay? Can you imagine? Like, because I can't imagine being on stage for as long as she was on stage. Because, like, as I just said, a lot of her costume changes even happen on stage. So she's hardly ever off the stage. There are a few times when it is, where she isn't on stage, and that's like the Charles and Camilla, or like totally unnecessary times that we see Camilla's marriage. There was way too many sort of like interludes between Charles and Camilla. There were too many damn songs. This musical probably, there was enough material in this musical to be like maybe a half hour long if you cut the unnecessary songs. Like, we didn't need, this is the Diana musical. We didn't need to see a song between Charles and Camilla. We certainly didn't need it to happen more than once. On top of that, all the songs were very derivative of other works, to the point that I was actually Googling towards the end during some of the stuff that didn't get captured, Googling whether or not these songwriters were credited. There's a song, like the second song from the end, inexplicably, the Queen has a song about getting married to her husband, and it's called An Officer's Wife. And it literally is Rod Stewart's Forever Young. It is what it is. That's what it is. And for some reason, she sings this song about being an officer's wife, and like members of the ensemble are dressed in military uniform, and they come out behind her, and it's the number of times that I was like wondering if the people on stage were embarrassed at what they were in, and they were just like soldiering through it. And that's not a pun about the officer thing, but like literally I would like try to look at the faces of the people in the ensemble, and I was like, either they're really committed or they deserve Tony Awards for hiding how they feel about this material, because it was like so disrespectful all the way through. It was just like, I can't believe that I'm seeing this. And as it started to get towards the end, I had this real fear that we were going to see a musical number of her car crash, because that is how tacky and unnecessary. It was awful. It was terrible. And again, Ken, if you are still with me, I do not blame you for not adequately preparing me for how bad this was, because there is no way. Like, even now as I'm talking and I'm listing off these things, like the song similarities, Andrew Morton has a whole number that is literally like a Glee mashup of Baba O'Reilly and Let My Love Open the Door, okay? Which, again, one of those is The Who. I said all through that video that this was like Tommy. One of those was Pete Townsend, also from The Who, you know? So it was like Tommy all the way through. It was like Tommy and Evita. It was like the worst parts of those musicals. I guess the worst part of Evita is the fascism. But like, I could not, like Ken could not have accurately prepared me. If you told me, if somebody pulled me aside and told me they saw this musical and described the things that I had seen in it, I would be like, there's no way anyone has ever done something so offensive and so tacky to Princess Diana, right? Like, I can't imagine. I can't imagine being Princess Diana in the afterlife and looking down on the world and going, how is my legacy? How am I being remembered? And it's this, right? You know, so as we get to the end of the show, like I said, I was afraid that they were going to stage the car accident. I was afraid of it. But the way it ends instead is the way that the musical opens, where she comes out and there's all those flashes and she's wearing that white outfit, which I was like, oh my God, there's going to be another fucking dress change, right? Well, there wasn't, but she's standing there and she sings. And while she's standing there, it turns into Hamilton. Okay, it turns into like the whole who lives, who dies, who tells your story thing, because the ensemble's behind her and then characters one by one step out and talk about her impact and her legacy. And I'm like, okay, fine. We can do this. We can handle this. And then I think that's where it ends, right? That's where it's going to end. Instead, characters start stepping out and giving news reports on how she's been involved in a car accident, and we're learning that Princess Diana is in serious condition, and, you know, and it's all of this very, it's just awful. And I was like, you don't even need to cover that. You could have ended it after you sang the part about how she, you know, was all these ways that she changed the world. And then she walked back and like sort of faded into the camera flashes. And I'm like, that's fine. That's perfect. End it right there. But no, they had to go one step further and talk about her death. Like, anybody who is watching the Diana musical already knows exactly how she died. They do not need the recap. They do not need to, oh, that's right, that is what happened to her. Like, it reminded me of when I went to see Marie Antoinette, the movie Marie Antoinette with Kristen Dunst. And as we were leaving the theater, someone was like, I wonder whatever happened to her. And I was like, how the do you not know, right? So I'm assuming that that lady that said that walking out was like involved in the production of the Diana musical. That's the only way that I could see how they came up with that. So then I'm like, okay, fine. Princess Diana has died. The stage goes dark. Okay, it's over. It's finally over. Nope. The lights come back up, and for some fucking reason, the entire ensemble like rushes down stage defiantly and sings a line about the people who changed the world. It's not a memorable line. It's like something like, the people who change the world aren't the people you expect to change the world, or something. And it's this very Newsies seize the day kind of finale moment. And like including like Prince Charles and Camilla are in this group. And I'm like, but why? Because these are not the characters who cared about her changing the world really throughout the whole thing. And it's this moment. And I know that the audience, I mean, like, for one thing, I know I never saw this on Broadway. I never saw this in California, but I'm going to tell you this right now. I guarantee that the audience clapped thinking it was over before the whole part about the car accident. And then once again clapped thinking it was over before that rush forward with the blaring front lights moment. This was awful. I mean, it was terrible. I honestly, the only thing that I could take out of it is there were like a few good songs that if I didn't know they were from the Diana musical, I would like them. I know that they're from the Diana musical, therefore I cannot like them. And they were, you know, and then there was like, I mean, just the inexplicable dance numbers. The musical never figured out what it wanted to be. It never figured out if it wanted to be this scathing indictment of the British press, if it wanted to sympathize and humanize the royal family, because I feel like it really did try to sympathize and humanize not just like the Queen, but like Charles and Camilla. Like, I'm sorry, please do not ask me to root for Camilla or give a shit about her broken heart. That bitch is about to be on the throne. She got exactly what she wanted, and I don't need to see a song about how fucking sad she is. Boo hoo. She can, I don't know, weep into her stolen diamonds. And then the other thing is, like, these people are supposed to be, you know, very recognizable historical figures. So you have Queen Elizabeth as this very recognizable historical figure, and there is Diana at one point, putting her arm on her, hugging her, doing that thing that you do on stage when you're standing in one place too long and you like there has to be movement, so you just start touching the other actors. It was like they're like their hands are like on each other, and I'm like, but nobody touches the queen. Like, nobody. She shook hands with her children. She certainly was not going to stand there embracing Diana and singing. There were other moments where like the queen would be on stage and people would have their backs to her. Okay, I understand. You have to face out. Maybe this very simple staging problem right at the beginning could have been something that clued you in that this is not a good subject for a musical. Like, there's no way we can actually stage this because it will be incredibly unrealistic. The one thing everybody knows is that you don't turn your back on the queen. I mean, just, and that you don't touch the queen, and that the queen is not physically affectionate. I mean, this is not difficult to research, and that performance would not have been difficult for the performer to research. It's not like this is someone who, gosh, we just don't have any information on. But like I said, the woman that played Diana, props to her, because she not only carried the show in terms of talent, but she carried the show just by sheer force of how long she was on stage and the numbers that she was giving. I mean, some of the songs that she was singing when we were like late in the show, I was like, my God, she's been singing for like an hour now and she's giving us this. And I mean, just nonstop, constant. It's been her. But yeah, I feel like this deep dread that when I am on my deathbed, I'm going to remember that I saw this, and that will be like one of my last coherent thoughts in this world. So, yeah, I guess my overall review is that was certainly a musical about Princess Diana.